What's up, nail geeks, and welcome to a Garden Path Lacquers video. We have a wonderful collection inspired by 80s fantasy. I don't know about you, I'm a huge fan of 80s fantasy art, especially like the fantasy anime we used to have, all that stuff. It was just so much fun. So we've got a collection, and if you are a fan of shimmers, you're definitely going to want to grab some of these. Even those of you who like the more blingy hollow-tastic ones, I think you'll appreciate this set too. So without further ado, let's dive right in. We're going to start off with Regret and Love. This is described as a clear base filled with large particle pink to orange to green shifting shimmer, blue holographic micro glitter, and holographic micro flakes. This one's inspired by The Lost Unicorn. That animation style is exactly what I was talking about in the intro. I don't think anything's ever come close to how beautiful it is. Just my 2 pennies there. Regret and Love is blingy, it's in your face, and it builds up beautifully to opacity at 2 normal coats, but I did prefer 3 thin coats for my wide load nails and my free edge. I'm going to suggest a really good glossy top coat, one of the thicker variety, to finish pretty much the entire collection off, as these will dry down quite flat because they're so packed full of goodies. This is going to light up in sunlight, bathroom lights, and those wonderful public bathroom lights. Indoor lighting, you're going to see quite a bit of shimmer action. Solace of the Shadows is a red raspberry crelly base accented with blue to green shifting aurora shimmer and red holographic micro glitter. This one's inspired by Legend. Now, I know on my Wildflower Lacquer video, we had some questions regarding the red over there. I have stated that reds are my Achilles heel, and I do try to describe these as best as possible if I know something's going to get really skewed across screens. So just in case, Solace of the Shadows is a warm red with a very deep tone to how it builds up. Just putting that out there. This builds up really well at 2 coats, but again, I would prefer 3 lighter coats to really plump this up and maximize the amount of goodies on your nails. This is very complex, has a lot of depth. Again, we've got a really strong flat dry down, so finish with something a bit thicker and begin all the same. This one's described as a clear base scattered with large particle pink to gold to green to blue shifting shimmer and purple holographic micro glitter. This one's inspired by the Dark Crystal. I really appreciate how across the board, these all have their own respective base colors and how they build up, but the glitter in every single one, it contrasts beautifully and the shimmer matches up really well. I almost want to classify these as kitchen sink polishes, but not quite, because the main component we're seeing is a gorgeous, strong shimmer. The holographic and sparkle effect is absolutely strong. It's not subtle in the least bit, but they all kind of mesh really, really well. This one's got a fantastic coppery shift at more extreme angles that you can see on my macro shots here. It's Only Forever is a deep, dark blackberry base filled with large particle green to gold to blue shifting shimmer and gold hollow micro glitter. This one's inspired by The Labyrinth, of course. Such an iconic movie. This has a slightly thinner formula, lighter, I should say. I don't want to even slightly give off vibes that this is sheer in the least bit. It built really well to opacity, again, at 2 coats, but you can see the difference between the second and the third coat. It just maximized all that beautiful sparkly goodness. This has an earthy type of multichrome feel to it. It strongly shifts over to that green that you can see on the edges of my nail there. I do have a strong C curve, which kind of helps with that shift in my photos, but at more extreme angles, you can see that luminous greenish sort of shift. Bloodstream of the Universe is a grass green base filled with large particle copper to pink to green shifting shimmer and jade hollow micro glitter. This one's inspired by Willow. So this has more of a colored base to it, very much like It's Only Forever, the previous one, versus the first 3 that it is a clear base, but we had lots of goodies building up to opacity. So for that reason, on Bloodstream, you might be able to get away with 2 heavier coats, but just be mindful that these are quite dense with all the special effect pigments in them. So I'm still going to say 3 light coats. That way you don't get any over buildup, and it's just a beautiful layering of plumpness on your nails. I loved the contrast of that copper against that wonderful green base. This one's really pretty, And I think a couple of these are going to transition really well into other seasons of the year. Always Dark is our last one. This is an azure base scattered with bright indigo to purple shifting aurora shimmer and gold hollow micro glitter. This one's inspired by, of course, the never-ending story. I would have to say Always Dark and then the red one would probably have to be my top picks out of this set. Always Dark is so pretty. This is luminous goodness. It's got less of that hollow looking thing, and I say that lightly because we've got a lot of sparkle here regardless, but you're mostly going to have your eyes caught onto that shimmer. My full hand shot gives you a really good idea of that. It's just super luminous. 3 light coats was perfect for me. It's got quite a bit of a sparkle factor in bright lights and all that good stuff. And again, finished with a good glossy top coat. And we're going to wrap this up with the Willet Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. Okay, so just spoiler alert for all of these. I'm really just going to kick back and just chat as you guys watch all of this. They all work over black. There's so much shimmer and sparkle action. They do work. However, if you wanted to layer these over different colors outside of black, I could see it working. Personally, I think best would be matchy match with their respective bases, or rather the background color. But I think you might be able to get a little creative in color theory with some of these lighter ones that have the more clear base with the special effects that gave you that opacity. And of course, this last one here, Always Dark, it's beautiful. I think this would look really cool over a dark blue too. So these are going to go live starting May 10th, this Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can grab them for $12.75 each, or you can grab the full set for 10% off the bundle for that. There is free shipping for orders 75 and up. There is a preview on the site right now. I will link you guys below to Garden Path Lacquers and their Facebook group if you haven't joined that and you want to. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.